Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest known podcast in the known multi-universe. It's been a minute, but we are back. Today,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest known
it is
podcast.
me, myself, and yo, I know this is all kinds of messed up today. Google Hangouts is selling me out, it's selling me. Today, you're joined by myself, Lamprey, and my dear friend, aka the Matt Worm King.
Matt Worm King, yeah, right.
AKA Musty Booty, I'm sure. AKA Mr. Pink Cat. Eddie Long, how you doing today?
This motherfucker. What up, man? Chilling and shit. No, it's just Google Hangout to do this shit once in a while. Like yesterday, a couple days ago for Keyboard Wars on Wednesday. Camera worked great. Today it just doesn't want to do it. I don't know what the fuck Hangouts does, but it don't want to work right. What are you gonna do, man? It's not like we pay for this shit. So what are you gonna do?
I just look at, you know what, right? Somebody was saying about they were talking about YouTube, and they were saying that, you know, like they're on about demonetizing people and stuff like that for, you know, certain things companies don't.
I know all about that. I know all about. We get a partial monetization because apparently, like, the language on our show doesn't. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the thing is I understand that certain companies don't want to be, quote unquote, paying for affiliate things and stuff like that. But with that same thing said, you know, you've got to take into account there's a lot of YouTubers that put out content that isn't that. And, you know, it's YouTube's job essentially to be going for a target audience. Now, for example, you know, if you watch a YouTuber that talks about the NFL,
right,
or any kind of sports, we'll say, for the most part, most people who watch sports drink beer. Am I wrong? Am I right? Yeah, for the most part, we all drink a bit of beer. Now, if they put an advert for Budweiser, I don't know, any kind of fucking beer that's, you know, they want to put a 5-second ad in. Now, if a YouTuber, like, say if Michael Rappaport decided he was going to swear on his, say he had a YouTube channel and he was doing it, I don't know if he does have, I know he has a podcast, but I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. But if he decides to swear and it's getting 100,000 views over the course of 24 hours, but they're going to put in one Budweiser advert, are you telling me that the people that drink your beers don't swear? Like, YouTube should be doing a better job at picking the right adverts for the right audiences to increase their target margins, in my opinion.
No, of course. But here's the thing. It's YouTube isn't about, they're not trying necessarily to be like, oh, you know, you Bud Light, you don't like people that cuss. Okay, well then we'll just we'll only put one in there and it'll be like very quick. So people just see it, right? First of all, I never met anyone that didn't drink a Bud Light or a Budweiser, took a sip and go, God, this tastes like fucking bullshit. Nobody has ever drank it and not said that. Even people that say that Bud Light's their beer will go like, God, this tastes like total ass piss shit water. You get what I'm saying there, Budweiser? And anybody else that might fucking say, no, I'm saying Budweiser said that shit, but that's an example. Look, here's the thing. I have never met anyone that I could trust that didn't at least cuss a little bit. Okay, if you are clean cut, I never heard you say a cuss word you're fucking suspect. You are questionable, sir or miss. You are legitimately suspect to me, and I can't trust you. So I'm gonna be watching what I say around your bitch ass. But to all my other motherfuckers that go, hey, what's up, motherfucker? Hey, I'm good, kicking his shit, doing nothing. You know what I mean? Trying to get bitches. You know what I mean? People like that, I know I could trust you because we have an understanding. This is what it is. But as far as like what YouTube does, I mean, they're totally fucking a lot of people. Like, there's some like YouTubers that cuss their asses off and you know, talk about controversial shit on their channels. They used to be able to make a living off their channels in it because of their views, and that shit got slashed shitless. I mean, it got slashed hard, and all because of PR fucking PC shit. That's literally what it is.
See, the thing is oh God, this doesn't sound like an MMA podcast, but fuck it, we're rolling with it. The thing is, though, is like, for me, I just think that words hold so much weight. I honestly just don't think that words per se are that important. And, you know, God damn it, man, like, I understand why some people get offended by some things, but it's like for the simple things, come on. If you choose to watch a video that has adult content like ours, that's your own fucking problem. Like, you decided to watch that when you know, click that you don't mind having sensitive content. Like,
here's the thing. Yeah, it's the same people. It's the same idiots that go, "Oh, fucking violence in schools because of video games, bro. If my kid wouldn't have played, GTA 5, 12 hours a day, he wouldn't have shot that place up." Nah, bitch, that's because you're an awful parent. You let your 10-year-old play GTA 5, a rated M for mature game. You dipshit. Okay, it's this whole it's not my fault, it's everybody else's fault kind of culture that's going on. And honestly, I'll be the person to say it starts off in the United States. That's where it began, and it spread everywhere else because of social media, movies, and television. Okay, that's what it is. People don't want to take responsibility for their own actions and be a goddamn parent. And so it's like all of a sudden, oh, we can't see cuss words on YouTube videos. We got to demonetize these guys, and basically demonetization, or at least only partial monetization, it's telling YouTuber creators, content creators, to be more PC, be more clean, without saying, "Hey guys, be more PC and more clean." We're not going to tell you guys that. YouTube, hey, my name's YouTube. I'm not going to tell you that. No, you guys can make whatever you want. We're just not going to pay as much.
Watch there come out a fucking channel, like a new website that'll be called like fucking TubeU or some bullshit. And they'll come through in clutch and be like, "Yo, you just come over here. Bring all your followers,
Yeah. If I had the money, bro. If I had the money.
I know, I'm with you, man. Like we were talking about, and we'll go into sports. Like, I know it's not MMA, but fuck all. I don't really care. We talk about whatever. But like for me, we were talking about earlier, LeVar Ball with the is it the Junior Basketball Association? It's called.
Yes, sir.
And we were talking about it earlier, and at the end of the day, like, you got to take those risks, man. And these small guys who are making waves and stuff, and I was joking, but kind of half-heartedly serious. But everybody were probably telling Dana White the exact same thing, X amount of years ago, that what are you doing investing money and getting involved in this? It's going to flop and you're going to have no money. And the Fertittas were thinking the same, probably. They were one show away from closing down. And then they went on to sell the company, pardon me, for, what was it, 4.2 billion?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You buy it for $1 million and you sell it for 4.2. I'm just saying, like,
not a bad night. Not a bad night. As far as the LeVar Ball thing, right? I have been very outspoken whenever I get a chance to against the NCAA. A lot of people say some stupid fucking shit about this. Look, it's like people always say, "Oh, fucking, they're getting, they should play for free. They shouldn't get paid." Well, why not? Because they're getting paid in scholarship. Do you know that what kind of degrees these kids are getting? English degrees, sociology degrees, like all fair and great. That's not going to get them a decent paying job when they get out. You know what I mean? Some of these kids, like Arian Foster, who was former running back, and this is NFL football, but Arian Foster, former running back for the Texans. I mean, Pro Bowler, one of the best while he was playing to do it. He was a scary running back, right? Dude would break off runs, like 20-yard runs, like it was nothing. So he played at Tennessee, and when he once he got out, he broke this whole story wide open. He went on the Joe Rogan Experience. Actually, if you haven't listened to that JRE with Arian Foster, I highly recommend it because it will open up your eyes to the way that shit works. But and also it's actually pretty entertaining to listen to. But anyway, so he retires from football and then goes on Rogan's podcast and basically puts all shit out there. He's like, I wanted to be an astrophysicist. Like he wanted to be. I listened
to that podcast. I've actually listened to that one.
Okay, yeah, that guy. Yeah, him, right? So he said, yeah, man, when I was in Tennessee, you couldn't do whatever major you wanted. It has to be around team meetings and around practices and around mandatory workouts and around all that shit. So no, first of all, it's not, we'll fully get paid in that shit. Second of all, do you know the billions with a fucking capital B underline italics that the NCAA is making off these fucking kids? Get the fuck out of here. Are you telling me that you're okay if you were a regular person working a job, that you would be okay? Let's say what's a normal roster for college football? Let's put it at like 60 guys. There's more than that, but 60 players. 60 players. Let's say University of Southern California, USC, one of the highest like watched teams in the nation. One of the always top ranked team, right? And they get the highest recruits, they get the best. I mean, they're in Southern California. They get bitches everywhere, so it's all good. But you tell me 60 kids on that team. All right, they get paid in education. Let's put a number $100,000. Okay, but that team makes multi-millions a season, if not more. You know what I mean? Like, is that fair to anybody? Like, if you were working, if you were getting paid minimum wage, right? And there's 10 of you at a McDonald's, but that McDonald's was getting a profit of like $10 million a year, but you're getting paid minimum wage. You wouldn't be okay with that. You'd be like, hey, what the fuck? Right? So it's the same shit. So now what LeVar Ball's doing with this, so you know what? Fuck that shit. Hey, Duke, you're not going to get this kid to go play for you guys for free, right? While you sell Duke t-shirts and Duke jerseys that this kid can't even buy because he can't afford it, right? And you know, you know, Arizona or you know, Notre Dame or whoever else, whatever other fucking top ranked basketball teams there are, you know, Kentucky, Kansas, you guys aren't gonna get these kids anymore. These kids are not gonna go play for you for free. They're gonna come here, get between 3 and 10 or whatever the number was that you told me earlier, 3 to 10 a month, like 1,000 a month to develop for the NBA. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for it. I totally, I'm behind LeVar Ball on this shit, man. For real.
Because at the end of the day, you've got to look at this thing as a point where this can change a lot of things for a lot of people, you know. At the end of the day, we've got to take into account that it's not just about LeVar Ball and it's not just about basketball, because you could look at the same context with MMA. Like, at the end of the day, MMA will grow as a sport, and eventually it will become a thing where you can get a scholarship from doing a sport like MMA. Do you know what I mean? And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that these athletes, because no matter what anybody says, you know, whether it's basketball, you know, the amount of knee injuries, ankle injuries, you know, and all the rest of it, you know, there's more, but, you know, the more prone ones, I mean, you know, with CTE, with obviously footballers and then boxers and, you know, MMA fighters will obviously, it'll be more potent and will obviously learn more in the coming years. But, you know, you look at these educations or these amateur runs and stuff like that, you know, we need to get it to the point where we do have amateur professional leagues. And, you know, if that has to be done through a college system or something to a degree of a college system where we can actually educate these athletes, you know, as far as like a scholarship and actually getting them educated and whatnot. But additional to that, them actually getting paid in the meanwhile, you know, I know that I read up on apparently in the States that you get I think it's 19 to 25 grand in certain scholarships apparently in the States from what I read.
Right.
But the thing is though is what you've got to take into account is how many of these kids are actually really trying to get educated whilst they're at college when they've got a potential 6-figure and then 7 or 8-figure second-year contract in a sport.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm not trying to learn, you know, fucking, you know, philosophy or, you know, whatever they give you to do, when I know that if I put in the work and hit the gym, you know, I know that my first year I'm going to make, you know, X amount of hundreds of thousands, maybe a little bit more, maybe $1 million, you know, depending about my pick and whatnot. But I also know if I play good in that first year as well, and I'm prepared for that first year, I could get a good contract where I'm going to get at least 7 or 8 figures. Come on.
Right. And that's the other thing they talk about in that podcast with Rogan and Aaron Foster. Why isn't there a football scholarship or a scholarship, a football degree or a basketball degree? Like, that's legitimate. You know what I mean? Why pretend that these kids are going there to go, you know, learn about fucking medieval times or whatever the hell you want, you know? They're not really going for that. A lot of these kids, especially let's say the top 100 recruits at a high school for basketball anyway, a lot of those guys are one and done, right? They go in, play basketball for a year, get a big name, do something in the tournament, and go get drafted top 10. A lot of these guys are going to get drafted top 10 regardless of whether they go to college or not. It's 100%. I don't know. It's all and the NCAA is nothing more than they're just thieves. I won't go as far as a lot of people saying that they're slave, you know, they're compared to slave owners and comparing these kids to slaves, because that's a totally different, like,
yeah, that's a
tier
of
like suffering
to say, considering they do still get some degree of pay. They still get some degree of education. So it's hard to say that, but consider how much money the companies that are affiliated with these colleges are actually making.
Exactly.
That's right. It's not right. It's not right.
Exactly. And that's my thing is I will call the NCAA of most. It's a thieving, fucking disgusting organization. I'll say that much.
Let's be honest. It's the UFC of MMA. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that's the sad part.
The same affiliate. You know what I mean?
I mean, shit. Look, it's the UFC comes in, right? And they're like, oh, by the way, everything's cool. We're making these big fights. Ken Shamrock's on the Shamrocks are on the roster. Nick Diaz on the roster. GSP, Matt Hughes, Don Fry. We're gonna build this thing up, right? Years later, let's go ahead and sign this little deal with Reebok. It's totally gonna fuck our fighters.
There you go.
And then what is this little amendment they made? This little bullshit change they made?
From what I've read, it's basically going to be a case of the more that you do involving, Reebok, and you're willing to work with them and with promotional stuff and everything like that, you can be moved up to higher tiers and, social media and stuff. So it's kind of a step forward, but a lot of people are saying, why don't you just let the fighters work out their own deal with Reebok? Like, why don't you let them, like, all of them can be affiliated with Reebok, cool, but work out what works best for them. Would 20 social media posts, be better than, just them turning up and never tweeting about them and only earning, I don't know, say if they only earn like $500, throwing a small number. Say they got $500 for their fucking fight kit for a month's worth, you know what I mean? Or 3 months worth even when they fight. Would 20 social media posts pump it up? If they've got 9,000 followers, 5,000 followers, would that pump it up to 1,000? Do you know what I mean? If they're willing to work more, that'd be, I personally think, the way forward to make this Reebok deal work. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's a step forward. I feel that the UFC have done what the UFC always does. They've done the bare minimum to kind of move forward and make people go, well, they're trying. They're trying to make the Reebok deal work for the fighters. It's still not perfect. They've done the minimum.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for UFC and Reebok, they got assholes like us paying attention to shit going, what the fuck is this supposed to do? This ain't doing shit. Listen to this. Listen to this shit. I just read. Oh, my God. Okay. This is from clickbaitfighting.com. Its athletes are now obligated to provide, quote, 4 days of advanced media promotions, 6 hours of fight week promotion, and 1 hour of post-fight promotion, end quote. You know who does that? The only fight in the entire UFC that does that? Paige Van Zandt. The only one that does that shit. No one else does that. No one else gives a fuck.
Say to that, though, with that same defense, hear me out. This is, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, so hear me out.
Sure.
With that same thing said, when you do reps in anything, photo editing, push-ups, whatever, you become better at it. By demanding these athletes to do so, could this help them build their brand also, which could also, in case, help build more of an audience for them to obviously expand and earn more?
Okay, fair enough. But that's still, I mean, look, and that might be one thing to look at, one way to look at it, right? At that point, bottom line of this sport, you got to win, right? The only way that works that you build a brand is to win. Like, you're not going to tell Angela Magana, who's no longer in the UFC, like, hey, this is going to work. Go ahead, post as much as you want to. She's got to win still. You know what I mean?
Got a question for you, though. I know it's the age-old thing, the whole philosophy thing.
Sure.
But if a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody around, does it make a sound? If you win a fight and there's nobody tuning in to watch you, is it worth it?
Exactly.
Did you win
it? That's called the Fight Pass prelims, dog. That's what that is.
But the thing is, though, is if you make waves on the internet and you make waves on social media and all the different advertisements and you cause a stir, and then people are like, yo, what? He's on the free Fight Pass prelim? Oh, I'm gonna check that.
Okay, well, check this out. Yeah, well, check this out. All right, so you tell me if you agree. I believe the system is still toward, put on towards the guys that are at top already.
Of course.
Right?
Doubt.
Okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. Look, I agree with you. It's a step forward. We're basically in a shithole, like a 6 foot shithole. We just went up 1 foot. That's basically what this move does.
Over the hole now. You can see over the hole.
Now your eyes are over and your nose is out of the shit too. So now you're just breathing a little bit better. But we still got to work on it. And I'm hoping. How much time we have left in this fucking Reebok deal?
I'm not sure, but I do remember when it got signed. I'm sure it was like a 4 or 5 year deal. I'm sure it was
so it's
a long.
We got a while. Yeah, we got a while. So and shout out to Dave, man, trying to put out those photoshopped DMs with Reebok. No, Dave's a good dude.
He's a good dude, but I'm sick of the fucking
I know
bullshit because some people
I
believe
know.
it.
Someone bought it. Some people bought it, but Dave, no, he's the thing. Dave's smart though. He went with it. Yeah.
You know, I don't knock his hustle. But it's just kind of like
I got a good laugh out of it.
For it every so many months, but after so long, it becomes like the Izzy Garcia thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like you get to, if for people who don't know, Izzy Garcia's initially he was an internet troll in the MMA community that basically he changed his profile and everything, and he even put his beginning name.
God, so good.
The @name of his username to Ariel Hawani's. So when he tweets something that happened at an event or something that had, just prior happened to an event, like someone injured, it'd go viral and it'd go like 3,000, 2,000 retweets.
Dude, I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, he used to get a lot of people. He was the guy that made you check if it was real or not. He made,
of course,
if anybody retweeted anything that you believed it was real, you'd click on the profile, you make sure there was a blue tick on that motherfucking profile before you even dare quote tweeted it.
Yeah.
Off and somebody had been pulled out, injured, or any kind of other bullshit.
Yeah. He got me one time.
Dave's a good dude. Totally agree with you. And I think he writes some of the fucking most hilarious tweets that are, out there. But those fucking 10,000. I'm looking at it and I'm just seeing it and I'm like,
yeah.
How would anybody believe this shows? I know that the internet's dumb and I know people are dumb, but I just look and I'm like, please, I don't need to see 10,000 people fucking retweeting something that I know is complete and utter bollocks.
Yeah. No, look, it fucking first of all, Izzy, I still love that shit. I wish he did it more often, but I get it. Like, take it easy for a while on it, and do it once in a long while, because otherwise, people are gonna do exactly that. They're gonna check first instead of retweet it. Yeah, when you do,
that's 2 weeks. It's been
yeah. But the thing, if you jump on something like that, like he basically is pointing out the fact that people don't check shit.
Oh, facts, 100%.
You know what I mean? And I mean, he's also, I think he's also part of MMA Today News or something like that. But yeah, something like that. I don't know, but he's legit as fuck. I enjoy fucking seeing his shit. But yeah, but look, I guess to tie up the whole Reebok thing with a retarded little bow. Do better, you motherfuckers. Do better. Okay.
100%.
I mean, we're about to get into this fucking Fox deal too. We're gonna figure it out. They gotta figure this TV deal out. I mean, are we gonna go to ESPN? Or are they gonna go to ESPN? Are they gonna stay at Fox? I mean, Disney just bought Fox, by the way. Yeah. So, they bought a big chunk of Fox, I think, including Fox Sports, I think.
But we're going to take into account with that Fox deal and obviously being bought by Disney. Disney are not against adult content because they're still going to put out the Deadpool films, and they're not going to make them PG-13. They're still going to be adult orientated. So it's not like the kind of right, we're going to turn everything PG. So,
sure.
Imagine if they started blurring out like blood or cuts and stuff in MMA fights. Like when you always see those like weird Japanese like guys with girls and stuff, and like they have like bits blurred out, and you're like, what in the fuck is that kind of business? But yeah, to me personally, I think that this leads into something that I was going to mention anyway. But
sure.
The UFC is trying to make things work. Like when the Fertitta brothers were selling it, they got USADA in, so it made it look cleaner. And it has been cleaner in the context because, in a sense, we've had more people get popped, we've had more people get injured, and more people not make weight. But that's all part and parcel of getting clean athletes. So it's you want the sword, then you've got to be careful which end you grab, because it's one of those things where shit's going to happen when you start messing with the formula you already have. But additional to that, though, UFC's working hard. Dana White's talking about fucking Mayweather coming over.
No.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. More than likely, 99% is not going to happen. But as soon as he puts that out, that stock of, Fox, wouldn't you like to see Mayweather with his 300 million?
Yes, that's exactly what I think of it.
It's smart business, and I can't fault them, because let's be completely honest. And this is, I'm not a defender. I sound so like pro UFC, and I'm not. But I like to try and look at the different things that can help athletes. And I look at that and I go, right. So Fox throws an extra, I don't know, say they throw 100 million extra just for a number, so I can just
Yeah.
throw a number. They throw an extra 100 million. So that means the base pay of each of these athletes goes up by, just say 10,000. So instead of a guy in the fight pass prelims making 2,000, 2,500, and paying after his camp, he's probably left with like what, 500?
Mm-hmm.
Say he gets bumped up to $12,500 per fight. That's life changing to a fight pass fighter. I'm just saying, like, the extra 100 million per, like, could increase the chance for these fighters to actually be able to live day-to-day lives instead of having to have two jobs. If they
Okay, good question. Do we know for sure that money would be going to the fighters?
I'm not saying it is, but what I'm saying to you is, though, is the opportunity is there. If the money's not there, they ain't getting paid extra. You think Dana White's
exactly.
fucking some guy from, I'm going to throw like Kansas, Ohio, or whatever, is going to get an extra fucking 10 grand out of Dana White's fucking cut? Not happening. Nope. It's not happening. But the opportunity is there.
Right.
And that's all that matters to me, because we can't argue. We know that they're making, like, what's the expression? Is it money over fist or hand over fist? Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Like, they're making stupid money already, and they're not paying the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're already kicking off with them. The backlash, if they make an extra 100 million and they don't pay the fighters, that's when it becomes a thing of, like, the fighters union will happen, because they're like, we just saw Fox give you 100 million extra.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still getting paid 2,500. No, it's not happening. There's fighters that we know that are fighting in smaller promotions that are making more than that. Why would they go to the UFC? Ben Askren, Paddy Pimblett. I'm not comparing the two's career. I'm just throwing names that we know that make big money from going to different organizations. And why would they fight in the Pride Pass prelims just to be a mark for the UFC? So my point is if they get an extra 100 million from a new deal, it's a hard thing to turn around and go to these fighters. We can't give you any extra money. We can't.
Yeah.
When the numbers are there.
Right.
Like that's a hard sell.
Right. No, and I'm with you on that. But there's so many ifs, and who knows on this shit. And honestly, it's still a private company. It's not like we could tell them what to do. You know what I mean? And the fighters can choose or choose not to, fight for the UFC, like you said, Pimblett, Askren. I don't know who else has kind of skipped on the UFC.
I'm not familiar. I'm being silly here. I'm just reading in the comments. Dan from Oregon. Shout out to Dan in the chat. Base pay is 10K unless you're talking about DWLFAF. What does that stand for? I'm not familiar with that.
Does it mean Dana White?
I have no idea.
Dana White looking for a fighter.
No, I'm sure that the fighters on the Fight Pass prelims, some of them only get paid 2.5. I'm 90% sure of that, like 95% sure of that, because somebody was talking about it before when there was on about like the guys who are like on the beginning fights of the Fight Pass prelims, not like obviously names that get put on there to obviously bump up the views, like the ones that are the fighters that get brought in specifically to be debuted on there. I only make like 2,500 unless they're a big name already.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always point to fucking Northcutt. That dude had a ridiculous contract before he even fought one time.
It helps though when you've already been in movies and TV adverts and like campaigns.
Wait, he had been in movies?
I think he had something to do with. He's been in some film. I'm sure he was like a stunt double, or he was some kind of like extra in some films. I know he's been in some films. It's not like he's had major roles and stuff like that. But he did. I know that he was in the advert for Star Wars. I know that for a fact.
Dude, how hard were they trying to get him and Paige Van Zandt to get together? Like they wish that would happen.
They was trying to make
Paige wants bad boys though. Paige wants bad boys. She don't want no clean cut white dude.
Paige wants a ring on her tongue, not a ring on her finger. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I digress. page on Zanman. She's a dirty motherfucker. But like I say, I'm not saying that they will get the money. I get it. Like, they could screw them over. It wouldn't surprise me. Businessmen do it all the time in every form of industry. But I like the thought of a chance of change. Because if we don't have hope, what do we have, Eddie?
Shit. Literally.
Shit. We have Donald Trump running the goddamn fucking
world. No. Here's the thing. Let me ask you about this. Because I when I first heard about, for example, we talk about the stupid, MMA Journalists Association, which is dog shit, by the way. It doesn't mean anything. But a fighters union, I used to be kind of against it. And then I kind of, I've been thinking about it more and more. The fighters kind of need to unionize, man. I mean, it's to be fair for everybody, but I mean, it's hard to do that with it's gonna be a while longer. I think it's gonna be like 5 to 10 years before that happens again, or before that happens, because the money needs to get up there, right? I mean, how would you convince like Conor McGregor to put his neck out for someone that made, for some UFC Fight Pass prelim fighter? Now, he is going to Congress, or he did. I don't know if it actually happened. I never paid attention, but that's a good step towards it, right? But I mean, to really put your neck out there and be like, look, you need to change this shit for everybody, or else I'm not fighting for you anymore, or something like that.
I'm staying with the fact of, he fights one more time, he retires, and then he'll make more moves than anybody has ever done for MMA fighters themselves.
Right.
Because I strongly believe that, because I think
that would be great to see.
I think as much as people give him grief, I think he's, hear me out, a fighter's fighter. I think like he really does care about all the fighters. Like I think he's. That's just my opinion. I know people call him everything under the sun, and with success that comes, and he does obviously antagonize people to get that.
Right.
But I personally believe that he's a person that's going to make more waves outside of the cage than anybody ever has done, the same way he has made waves inside of the cage. But that's another story. But the main thing I think is this is, and this is another prediction I'll make. If the UFC makes a fucking truckload of cash from a new deal, whether it be ESPN, Fox, whatever it may be, with that same thing said, I personally believe that if they do not work towards making the pay increase for the fighters and try and make it more palatable to us as an audience and make it more livable for the fighters, because you can't be getting an optimal fighter who's having to work a 30-hour, 40-hour week and go to the gym. You can't be getting a premier fighter. Like, you're not breeding fighters the right way. Like, we talk about, like, when we were on about the college thing with basketball and stuff. Like,
right,
you're not breeding to get the optimal fighters to put on the best fights. Then how can somebody, we talk about sometimes in the fight pass, like guys gassing out and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's octagon rust, or like it's the excitement of being in the UFC cage. It's different than anywhere else, and that's probably true as well. But if you've done a 40-hour fucking week, for fucking 6 months, and then you've had to train for 8 weeks, but then you've had to work like a part-time shift for like 2 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those weeks, it's just not. You can't be fighting in your optimal state.
My favorite example of that is Neil Seery, the Irish fighter.
Yeah.
Neil Seery fought, I think it was like a late notice fight, lost, got a bonus, and he's like, all right, well, I gotta go to work. I gotta be at work on Monday. It was Saturday night. He's like, I still gotta go fly back to Ireland and be at work. Like, that's my premier example, my one example for a guy who said, I had to go work my warehouse job on Monday after being on international television fighting for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that shit.
It's stupid as hell.
Yeah.
And I think that if fighters are not approached to sort out and find out, the right way to go about things by the UFC, then when they get this truckload of cash from, whether it be Fox or ESPN, I truly believe that that's when we will see a union form. Because the thing is, and this sounds so stupid, but like, if you talk about anybody who's unranked and anybody who's in that top 10 to 15, maybe even a little bit higher, some of them, depending on the weight categories and whatnot. But you're gonna look at all those guys go, you just made $100 million on a new deal, and my increase is 1,000, 5,000. No. Oh, okay. No, that's not going to happen. I think that's when you can only the age-old expression is you can lead a donkey with a carrot. It'll do more for you with the carrot than it would from you whooping its ass. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's for me personally. I think that's going to be one of those cases.
Unless they're children. If you're kids, beat their ass. All right, they don't fucking listen to shit. I'm telling you.
Teach them,
bro. I'm dealing with an 11-year-old. All right, she's full of shit. All right, and it's just like we give her too much good shit. Anyway, whatever. No, but no. Here's the thing. Like,
I just want to drop this one thing though. Please tell me that you would like to see Mighty Mouse fuck up Mayweather. Tell me.
Okay, in an MMA fight, all day I'd be down to watch it.
No ground, just purely strikes stood up.
Oh yeah, fucking dude. Hey, DJ by head fucking kick knockout, bitch. DJ's gonna knock the shit out of. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's great. Go. You want to slip punches? Go ahead. You want to run around? Sure. We're in a cage, bitch. You're gonna run nowhere. Especially if Dana White fucks up. Let's say this actually happens, and Dana White fucks around and puts him in a 35-foot cage. Hell yes. First of all, okay. Go ahead, run around. You can play rope. Oh wait, there's a cage here. I can't lean back on the ropes. Fuck. So. Dude, head kick knockout easily. Oh, that would be so great to see. That being said, it's never gonna happen.
I don't want to see it by head kick. You know what I want to see it by?
What?
TKO by leg kick.
Oh, dude, I think about that, dude. The boxing stance. Go ahead and lean back and forward with this shit. I
just want to see his leg spin.
Spin. And look, and just to clear it up, this is not gonna happen. You're not gonna get Floyd. So you're not gonna get Floyd in any MMA fight. What you might get. This is my theory. Zuffa boxing is on the horizon. Dana White could do great with someone that maybe doesn't have to work for the UFC or Zuffa, but Dana White could definitely and Zuffa could definitely have get a hand from Mr. Floyd Mayweather Promotions. Why not? Hey, is the let's say for I guess argument's sake. Hey, Anthony Joshua, what's up, man? It's Dana White. So I'm starting this boxing promotion called Zuffa Boxing. Yeah. Oh, you ever heard of us? Oh, well, have you heard of Mayweather Promotions? Because we're working with Mayweather. Yeah, you know the greatest, the 50-0 or 49-0, whatever it is. 50-0, right? Yeah, 50-0. You know Mr. 50-0? Multi-millionaire, right? Total asshole to people and women, but fuck it. Right? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's my friend. Oh, you want to come meet us? Oh, for sure, man. We'll fly you down in a private jet. We come down to Vegas, me, you, and Floyd to kick it. Go get some hookers and blow. We'll be good to go. All right, see you here, big guy. That is huge. Hey, Tony Bellew. What up, man? Dana White. What's going on, man? You only got a couple fights left in your career? You want to fight your last one for Zuffa? What do you mean? You never heard of us? Oh, I know I'm MMA, but come on, man. I'm getting into boxing. You know who my good buddy is going to be there? Floyd Money Mayweather. And guess who we're working on signing right now? Anthony Joshua. Yeah, bro, we're legit. That alone, dude, just having Floyd Mayweather's name associated to your shit will be huge for Zuffa Boxing. So I think it has nothing to do with MMA. It's just keeping his name in the headlines and then bring him in to help out Zuffa Boxing. That's just a theory of mine. I'm all edgy brown this shit right now.
He's been looking into it, guys.
Looking into it, guys. I'm just saying, look into it. They fake 6 moon landings, guys. 6 of them. Fuck.
Yo, I'm not gonna cry about it, but I'm gonna cry about it. Why is everybody praising motherfucking Daniel Cormier? Because he said I'm not bothered about people posting me crying as a meme. Like, cool, damn, didn't really give a fuck. Like,
wait, who's praising him?
Like every website's like Daniel Cormier killing off trolls by telling them that he's been crying since he was 14 on pictures and stuff like, because apparently there's a picture of him when he was like 14 or I don't know, when he was younger and he lost and he was crying in that picture. He's like, I've been getting my picture taken whilst I've been crying. Like, it's been happening all my career. Like, I'm not really bothered. It's like, first thing first, as soon as you address it, it bothers you. I don't care what no one says. If you don't acknowledge something, it does not exist in your world. As soon as you fucking start talking about it, I know you fucking care.
Yeah, dude. Fucking here's the thing too. It's very interesting to see the way people. Okay, so first of all, let's go back in the timeline a little bit, right? Daniel Cormier fights John Jones the first time, loses by very close decision, but decision. Oh, actually, no, never mind. That wasn't close. I was thinking of a different fight.
Well, I think it was like 4-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 4-1. It was actually pretty. I think I was thinking Cormier Gus. Anyway, but Cormier Jones won. Jones was a pretty clear decision, and wears that unbroken shirt, whatever. Then, yeah, Jones pops for the Anthony Johnson fight. Cormier comes in, wins a belt, and he's just like, John Jones, get your shit together, boy. I can wait for you. All right, okay. And then he starts doing this thing where he's kind of trying a little too hard to be liked, or he's trying to be something, right? Trying. Yeah. So people start hating on him. Fans start hating on him more, so not really like MMA media, right? So then fights John Jones again, gets TKO'd or gets knocked the fuck out this time. John Jones pops again, stripped, belt back to DC. Now we got this DC Vulcan thing, right? But people are thinking DC's still a paper champion because he never beat the actual champion. Fair enough. Here's where we run into not a problem, but a weird thing that's going on right now, where MMA media is starting to stand up for Daniel Cormier. And because nobody in this fucking planet is a leader anymore, everyone's a follower, people start saying, oh, Clipbait.com's praising DC for it, or MMA Junkie and the shit corner is praising him for it, or whatever the fuck is praising him for it. Yeah, he's probably a good guy because they said that. Let's just do that instead of doing you looking into have your own opinion. Look, you want to do that? Fair enough. But it's just a weird thing for me to see that MMA is standing up for him. My personal opinion of DC has never changed. I think he's a bad motherfucker. I think he's been the legit champion. If you make your own fucking mistakes and it gets you out of being a champion, that's your fault. Yeah, he never beat John Jones. And he could have. Maybe he could never. Who knows? Okay? But Kobe Bryant retired from the game. Right? What, a year, 2 years ago? 3 years ago, something like that? Yeah. Right? But people still compare him to LeBron, or compare LeBron to him and Michael Jordan and everything. It was not like Kobe could do anything about it anymore. He's not in the game. So what are you gonna do? Well, the Lakers would have beat so-and-so if Kobe was still playing. Yeah, but he's not playing, bitch. What the fuck? Yeah,
but by that same token, though, right? Hear me out with the DC thing. This is maybe level, because I'm gonna play the fucking opposite here because I don't care. Right. First and foremost, one, DC got beat by John Jones, right?
Right.
That was just he got beat the first time, didn't get popped for anything, beat him, end of. Then he got popped for testing prior to the Rumble fight. Right. So he didn't get popped. Bear this in mind. This is a key point. He didn't get popped when he beat DC the first time in a unanimous decision where he was out wrestling DC. Key thing here. He out wrestled him, outworked him, outgrinded him. Very important. I think he only landed DC on John Jones 2 takedowns, and one of them was
at most,
and one of them was in the final round.
Yep.
Now, taking this into account, granted, he beat Rumble, but I always put an asterisk next to it because it's like, how can you compare Rumble's preparation? And I know the fight's a fight, it is what it is, but it's hardly the same when you're not preparing for a small tank of a wrestler compared to a 6 foot fucking knight. I'm exaggerating, but like lengthy striker, with good wrestling also. It's hardly the same. You're not preparing the same kind of flips, takedowns, strikes, defense. You're not preparing any of that. Right. So again, for me, it should have been a case of like it was an interim thing, even though regardless. But I know it was a long period of time it's suspension, so it kind of is what it is. Granted, but then you go to the second when he defends it against Gustafsson.
Yeah,
and this is just I've gone back and watched this 2 or 3 times. I still think that Gustafsson won that fight.
I know, and I do too.
So if we're talking, a controversial decision, in my opinion, I go again. Is he still the champion? Because I don't think he beat the person who he first ever defended his title against. So I go, okay, we'll run with it. Okay, he's the champion. Okay, He fights John Jones. That was the next fight, wasn't it? There was no fight in between.
Yeah, no fight in between.
He fights John Jones. Fine. Oh, no. Again, hold on a minute. He fights against Silva.
Oh, yeah, shit. I don't even count that.
John Jones got acquitted for the thing, didn't he, for that one? Because it was Tater supplements.
Right.
So that was here nor there, do you know what I mean? But he fights against Anderson Silva, barely scrapes through against Anderson Silva, barely does anything. And in the third round, he takes a body shot where he looks like he was about to get finished.
Yeah, I look bad.
By Anderson Silva, bruh, who came on 4 days' notice. He flew from Brazil. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay, but here's the thing. Now you're looking into it very far. I'm going straight from the outside of it, just from the facts of what happened. If we're going straight in details and shit, I totally get what you're saying. But I think at some point we need to figure this out. Because look, then we're talking about, well, fucking Conor defended a belt. Fuck him. He's not a champion. He never defended a belt.
Title either. He should have been.
No. I'm not saying now. But that'd be like saying like he was never a champ because he never defended. It's the same. Oh my god, it's the same argument.
But he beat
it's the same argument. No, that's not what I'm right. But that's not what I'm saying. He never defended. Well, you ever heard that shit? Right. Listen. Calm down, Conor Jr. It's okay.
I'm not trying to defend Conor. I'm just saying though, there's a difference in how they got.
Sure. Fair enough. But I'm saying that's the same argument that people are saying. It doesn't make any sense to say he's not a champion because he hasn't defended. A lot of people are saying like, you've heard the thing where everyone says, well, you're not a champion until you defend your belt. That's the same similar type of argument that I think it is. Now, and look, everyone has their own opinion. Fine. History books will remember DC as champion. That's all I'm saying.
100%. But I'm talking about the case in point of how people are going to perceive him. And there's an old expression of to be the man.
You have to beat the man.
And he's never beaten the man, so he's not the man. He can be the champion. That's that on paper, that's cool. But the legacy of him being champion is not the same. Like you look at every time. I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. Fuck it. I'm going to roll with another one. I bet he gets knocked out by Vulcan. Right?
Hell no.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Check this out. I'm going to because I can see this coming. He'll get knocked out by Vulcan, right? A month later, Vulcan will get sent down for that assault that he did. And you know what will happen? The belt will go back to DC. And guess what? He'll have never beaten the champion again. 3 times that he's had a title. It will be by then if it obviously Vulcan pulls off.
Right.
It'll be the 3rd time that he'll have been beaten by someone and gets the fucking title. How are we going to call him the 3-time champion? He's never won the belt once from the guy who was holding the belt.
What's the first thing you think about when you hear Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant, to me, I think of a guy who worked hard, played hard, bit of a ball hog, played hard in the clutch.
Right.
You know, went on and, you know, he was under somebody's shadow to a degree, and then he came out and then he carried his team to a degree.
What about Michael Jordan?
Had a rocky start, found the right pieces, elevated his game, pushed on, and then dominated.
Okay, but you never thought with Kobe Bryant, you didn't mention, gotten deep fucking shit for cheating on his wife and was accused of rape and all shit, whether that was true or not. And listen. Right. Listen, hear me out. I'm making a point. Okay. Michael Jordan, everybody fucking made a huge deal about his gambling, which really wasn't a big deal because you have all that money, do whatever you want with it, right? But what I'm saying is this: history doesn't remember those details.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the sport.
No, listen, history's not gonna remember those details. DC, in history, people are going to remember him as being a champ for a long time, whether or not you and I agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this. I remember when France played against Ireland, one of the qualifiers for the World Cup, and Thierry Henry literally did he did a behind-the-back crossover.
Yeah.
And cheated and literally crossed the ball over on the middle of the 6-yard box in front of the goal and then tapped it in. Now, I remember that. Do I remember specifically the fact that Ireland didn't go to the World Cup that year? Yeah. because I remember what things came through as, you know, in 10,000 years, nobody's going to remember shit. We're probably not.
No way.
But the point being is, though, is for the now and and we're talking about a very young sport. Like, if you talk to historians of any other sport, like I can't go into like the, you know, the one. Okay, for example, you know, like when you look at Maradona with the hand of God.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I hate that dude.
Hold up, do you remember it?
Oh, well, no. Like I mean, I've seen it play, but I don't remember
it. You know what it is, though. You know.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know. Yeah. I've seen the tape. I've seen the video. 100%.
They won that game and won that, you know, the World Cup and all that kind of thing.
Right.
You know that was tainted. That year was tainted because of that action, and that's fucking what, 40 odd years ago or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, I get where you're coming from. You know, for the most part, people won't remember minute details, but I think because this sport is so young. I think moments like that, they will remember stuff like this because this sport's so young. We remember things from like the 90s, and granted that's 20 years ago, but still 20 fucking years ago. Right. This sport is so young, and I think when people talk about, like, for example, when we're talking about premier athletes of our sport, we're talking, you know, about big names. And when we remember them, we remember stuff about them because they were the first ever big names. And DC is going to be one of those people where when people talk about his name, because the sport is so young and it's so new still, in 10, 20 years, we're going to go, yo, John Jones was the baddest motherfucker ever. And then people will go, well, DC was the champion, though, because John Jones couldn't keep his dick in his pants and not take dodgy dick pills. We'll say that, but we'll also say, could DC beat John Jones? No, twice, because that's the facts. It doesn't matter about the dick pill. Like, we can say, yeah, he fucked up this, that, and the other. We can say that, cool, but we will always go back the same way we can go. You know, Argentina. I forget what year World Cup it was, but we always remember that World Cup where they won it from the hand of God because we remember that moment.
So I was trying to think what year it was. It was like in the 70.
I think it was like the 70 because it was the 66 where we won it. So
yeah, that's true. Probably 70. Yeah, 70.
So,
all right.
It's still part and parcel of the thing of it's so long ago that we remember it because it involves iconic figures, iconic moments, and controversy.
Right. And I get what you're saying. Thing is this. Me and you remember John Jones is one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the best to ever fight. Okay. The future, remember John Jones as like a Mike Tyson type, scary motherfucker, but beat Waz's own demons.
Oh, facts, 100%.
Yeah. Anyway.
I will agree with the Hardcore MMA show is in the comments, and I agree. John Jones is not in the UFC, and as of right now, he is not the man, and I agree with that. In my opinion, Demetrius Johnson is the man. I'm not going to be a dick rider and say George St. Pierre with his leaky bum hole like most people are doing.
Nate Diaz, bro. Nate, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
But the thing is, though, is like for me, I agree that, you know, DC deserves, to a degree, a lot more respect than he gets. I will openly admit that. That's fair. He does deserve more respect than he gets. The thing is, for me, is there's an additional case in point, which is probably going to slander everything that I'm going to say, and everybody's going to go, oh, you're just a hater of DC then. But there's just something I don't like about him as a person as well. I don't like his commentary. I find him very irritating and overbearing. I know he's very young in his commentating career. Granted, he's probably got some ways to go. But I'll be honest, and most people can kiss my ass when it comes to this. I remember when everybody was turning around saying Mike Goldberg was trash. And then he's left, and everybody's like, yo, Mike Goldberg was the GOAT, man. No, he wasn't. Mike Goldberg was an horrendous commentator in the UFC, and we used to criticize him every pay-per-view. There'd be memes and everything taking the mick out of something that he'd said. We did it every week. So let's not proclaim that Mike Goldberg was the GOAT. You know what I mean? DC, can he get better? Of course he can on commentary. I just don't like him on commentary. People give Todd Grisham a hard time, and he's actually a legit commentator who's commentated for Glory. And again, granted, and I know this is the main reason why people hate on him, but he also Todd Grisham used to be a WWE commentator. So I just think it's so stupid that we allow, like, DC doesn't get anything, and then we have premier talented guys. Paul Felder was a commentator the other week, I believe.
He did pretty good.
Brilliant job. Dan Hardy does a brilliant job. There is an array of different guys that are more talented than DC that should be on there. You know, I'm not a fan of this other person that I'm going to mention as well, but Tyron Woodley does very well when he does the Green Fox show where they do it with
the desk. The desk. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called because we don't get to see a lot of it. We only get to see brief glimpses of it, depending on the scheduling of the fights over in the UK. So we don't get to watch it in full. But I think he does a tremendous job in the short amount of period of time that he does. I'm just saying that I think DC is highly overrated in the context of people giving more praise in a way than is due. But I think that he is a talented fighter. I just don't think he's as good as what everybody. I think that his career, in a way, to me, and this sounds so haterish, but it makes him seem better than he actually is.
I don't know, man. I've been watching DC since he was in Strikeforce. That's why I can.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's why I give him a lot of credit.
I think he's a talented guy. I just don't think he's as people want to make him out that he's a GOAT or like he's one of the best that's ever done it. And I'm like, on paper, he looks amazing. Like on paper, but like, remember that video I sent to you? There was a video that went viral during the Kobe day. That was, is Kobe Bryant overrated?
Shit.
It is. But one of the things that it said is sometimes you have to look at stats with context.
Right.
I think with DC, that is what the problem is for me personally. You know, for other people, on paper, I think he looks tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it with context, it just doesn't fit. I just don't think he's as great as what people.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
That's just me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
Moving on. We're on this for like forever.
No. I just think it's an important thing, though, man.
No, for sure.
It is. I just hope. I hope that DC gets the legitimacy that he deserves. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I hope that he can find a place where he can finally win over. I want to be won over by DC. You know, a part of me was like, kind of wanted him to beat John Jones by decision, just so that we could go, well, we're close. Let's run it for a third and let's really get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's decide who the motherfucking one is. I don't know, man. I think it, like, you know, there's talks of him if he'd go and fight against Stipe, and Jesus Christ, if he fights against Stipe, he gets fucking lit up like a Christmas tree. Facts.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. What is this shit about? We could just real quick and let's not stick on this too long. But why does Wonder Boy want to fight the RDA now? Like, Wonder Boy was like he was in the shadows for a long time, and also RDA might be number one contender. Now he wants to fight.
Quickest route to the title again.
But he don't want to fight Darren Till. Some bullshit.
Bro, you don't want to. Nobody wants Pat Till. Everybody's saying like Usman. Everybody's avoiding Usman. Till's scary, man. Till's confident. Like Till believes.
No, fuck all that shit. Till's big and he can fight. Okay, he's a middleweight pretending to be a fucking welterweight.
He's probably a light heavyweight in a year.
Yeah, or less. Yeah, or less. That dude might already be a light heavyweight. He's a big motherfucker. I watched his. What was the last fight that he had? Fuck, who'd he beat?
I forgot the name of the dude.
Cowboy.
Yeah, Cerrone.
Yeah. I watched the rerun. I watched the rerun the other day. Oh, by the way, fuck it. I want to throw this out there because I'm gonna forget. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. I want to say it's Christmas Eve. For those people who have FS1, and Google the shit out of this right now to make sure if you're gonna be home with the TV on tomorrow night, Christmas Eve, Fox Sports 1's gonna do a rerun of UFC 218 for free. Free. So if your family's fight fans, which mine is, we have that shit on while you're opening presents, drinking eggnog, watch people get the shit knocked out of each other. So it's gonna be fun. Anyway, yeah, well, I rewatched that fight, and holy shit, Darren Till's a big motherfucker. Like even compared against Donald, Donald was a small 170er. Still, holy shit, Big boy.
It's just the fact that he gets in and out. He has good movement, good timing, good precision, and he has fucking hands. Like,
no, Jeremiah says if Usman can keep Till on the mats, he beats him. Yeah, okay, let's get him on the mat first, and then we'll find out.
100%. It's like that's like Francis Ngannou. Same principle. If fucking Stipe can keep him on the ground, credit to him. You gotta do it first, man.
You gotta get him down there.
Don't forget that Till trained over in Brazil, so I don't think his takedown defense and his grappling on the ground will be that bad. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as what people think it is.
Yeah, just because he's striking is at such a high level and it may be better than his grappling doesn't mean his grappling isn't good either. So I mean, it's the thing that's like arguing people with Conor. Everyone's like, "Oh, dude, did he work on his ground game before Nate Diaz too?" I'm sure. Look, he's a purple belt now. From what I last heard, is Conor's a purple belt. Okay, I've seen purple belts that tap out black belts. Okay, it does. He's not a slouch on the ground. You know what I mean? Look, first of all, you're not gonna make it in MMA without a ground game. Let's fucking be honest. Very few guys make it without a ground game.
Eddie Bravo also said that when he trained over one of his 10th Planet schools when he was there, that he said that he could roll, man. Like, he was rolling with some of the best guys in his club. So I'm not saying that he was beating them or anything like that. I was just saying that he was rolling, working sufficiently. That's all I'm saying.
Right, he holding his own, and that to me is huge. So let's stop pretending that these guys don't have a ground game. And Gano already showed he has a submission game of some sort. So that's gonna be, dude. He's a scary dude, but I'm telling you, Stipe is gonna have a game plan for him. Can he use it though? Well, you know, can he keep it after he gets popped in the face? That's what I want to know.
The thing that scares me is like, say Stipe goes in for a double leg or a single leg. Francis Ngannou throws that big ass guy, and he just knees his head to Jupiter. Come on.
No, for sure, man.
But on that note, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, BaneStore.com. Head over to BaneStore.com for all your Bane gear. You can get your Jiu-Jitsu on, your athletic apparel on. You can get T-shirts, mugs, and artwork, all Jiu-Jitsu inspired. So even if you're not a fan of, just regular training, some beautiful artwork for you to check out. We've got some cool tees as well, like I say. You can check them out, BaneStore.com. That's BAIN store.com. You use the code with the heel hook, all one word, for 10% off your entire order. Secondly, Receptra, shout out to you guys. I just want to shout them out first and foremost for sending me out some new stuff. My back's been torn up from all this Christmas work. Working in retail over this time of year is the worst. So shout out to you guys. But additional to that, they do the best CBD products, oils, topicals, all that body butters, all that good stuff to heal your body and get your mind right. I can't implore you enough to go and check out CBD just in general. Make sure you Google it, check that it's the one for you. It helps with an array of different things, whether it be healing your body. Some people say that it helps with, obviously, the mind and the focus. And also there's additional illnesses that some people claim and have studied that it also aids with as well. So please make sure that you check out ReceptraNaturals.com if you are in the United States. That's RECEPTRA, naturals.com if you are in the United States. If you are in the EU, Europe area, England's not part of the EU anymore, so I always find that really weird. But so basically, if you're in Europe, quote unquote, then go to receptraglobal.com. That's RECEPTRA global.com for both of the websites, whether you're in the United States or if you're in the United Kingdom and Europe. Use the code word, the heel hook, all one word, 10% off all your CBD needs. Eddie, where can they find you at, brother?
Find me on Twitter at Ela31, on Instagram at Keyboard Warriors MMA, and of course at KeyboardWarriorsMMA.com on to get to our podcast and all that, and on iTunes at Keyboard Warriors MMA. Real quick, shout, because I completely forgot to bring this up, but I had it written down. Shout out to Daniel Strauss. He was in a really bad motorcycle accident this last weekend. Still recovering in a Florida hospital. No one knows any details of the accident, but he is awake. He is speaking. He has full movement of his limbs. If you don't remember, he's actually a Bellator fighter. He has wins over Patricio Ferry. I think beat Pat Curran, a couple of the guys. But Daniel Strauss still recovering in the hospital after a really bad motorcycle crash. So thoughts go out to him and his family. Hopefully he can recover, make a full speedy recovery, and get back to what he loves doing the most. And this is actually a statement from Bellator that released on Strauss's behalf. It says, on early Sunday morning, so last Sunday, I was involved in a motorcycle accident. I'm currently recovering and will hopefully be returning to the Bellator cage sometime soon. I appreciate all the well wishes and ask that people respect my family's privacy during this difficult time. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're you know, while you're celebrating with your families and bringing them close together with you and give each other gifts and, you know, and happiness and everything, just keep your thoughts out for people that are, you know, that are hurting right now, and especially guys like Daniel Strauss, and you know, rest in peace, Robert Fall is his name, the coach from that passed away from you know, unfortunate circumstances and everything. And, you know, keep in mind some people are hurting, so, you know, take a minute out to think about them. And if you pray, you know, shout a little prayer to those people and to their families, that they can heal in the best way possible.
With that, just to follow on exactly what you were just saying there as well, if you ever need to speak to anybody, if you're ever feeling in a need of an anonymous friend, you know what I mean? If you can't talk to the people around you, one place that I could definitely recommend, thecalmzone.net. Their website, they speak to you on live chat. They can also talk to you on audio as well, privately, and confidentiality is key thing for all them, so you can just talk to them anonymously, so you always have somebody to talk to, guys. Additional to that, always at this time of year, be exceptionally careful. Don't drink and drive and all that kind of other bullshit, man. And you know what I mean, just stay safe, man. Like, at this time of year, just make sure you take care of yourselves and take care of everybody else as well, at this time of year. So from me and Eddie, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers, and we will catch you on the other side of Christmas. So from me and Eddie, whether you're a lover, a fighter, or a hater, peace up. Hey, down.